Hey folks, let's see how our dahlia tuber experiment is going. These are the ones I have had in my basement. These are the ones that I have left outside. I have not looked at these, and it's been about 14 days. So I'm gonna flip the camera around. Let's see what they look like. For those who missed my previous dahlia video last week, you can go check that out, links above. I've never cured dahlia tubers. So I have never let them sit out in the sun to cure up before storing them for winter. I've always just taken them out of the ground, shake the dirt off, put them in a medium to sort of hold in the moisture, and store them in the basement. So I wanted to do an experiment to see, after a week or so, how tubers sitting out to cure differ from the ones that I have put inside. So here is where we are at. These are the outside tubers. And if I pick this one up, so it's wrinkly, they're pretty firm. They're definitely reduced in size from when I put them out, but that's to be expected. Some of the dirt in here has dried, so we could probably chunk a little bit of that off. But they don't look too bad. They're fine. They're just shriveled up a little bit. I think that's what's supposed to happen. Okay. Bag number one. I believe this is the pie plate dahlia. So right away, the straw, as I'm touching it, has moisture in it. So you can tell that there's definitely still some moisture inside the bag. I want to tease her out. Holy bananas, I pulled the big one. Okay. I brush her off a little. Get some of the... Okay, so this is the pie plate dahlia that cured outside. This is a pie plate dahlia that has been stored inside. Immediately, some of the differences are in moisture. I can feel it on my fingers. There's still a fair amount of moisture inside here. The tubers are really plump and firm. Skin has wrinkled up a little bit. Some of the dirt has dried off, kind of like the cured ones. What I'm really looking for is any rot. And I'm just not finding any. Okay, so let's lay those two out next to each other and we'll move on to the next kind. All right, up next, same as the other bag, I can feel a little moisture in the straw, but it's not wet. I couldn't wring out the moisture. Here we go. Let's tease her out. Look at her. She's beautiful. Oh my goodness. Okay. Much like the other, she looks like almost fresh out the ground. Whoops. Oh, I just pulled some skin off. See? Now that wasn't great. What I just did there, peeling that skin back, that's not as helpful because that's now an open wound. So that's not great. That is definitely a plus for curing. But I mean, these really do look like they just came out of the ground. They're just as firm. They're just as healthy. There's no rot. All right. And here is her counterpart. All right, let's set those out. Okay, and last but not least, the third variety. These were the smallest of the tubers. Okay, here she goes. One little baby tuber fell off. That's okay. That happens. I still plant them anyway. You never know. Okay, just like the rest, there is a feeling of moisture in the straw, but it's not too damp. The tubers are just big and super healthy. They look like they just came out of the ground. And this is her counterpart. So much drier, shrunk up quite a bit. but still dried up and firm. This to me feels now like what previous dahlias have felt like after they've come out of storage in the winter. So there you go. I honestly don't know how I feel about the results. On the one hand, I love that the tubers that I stored in the basement just as they are look so dang freaking healthy. You know, over time, that moisture in the bag might become a problem, but maybe that's exactly what's keeping them so delightful and firm. Now, the downside to all of that, of course, is what I just did when I showed you this tuber is I think when they don't cure like a potato, the skin stays really thin and it's really easy to create some damage. So that spot on that very healthy tuber now could invite a little bit more disease rot, right? But on the other hand, the tubers that I stored outside, they dried up wicked fast, like within days, to the point where I was actually a little bit nervous about leaving them outside too much longer because it seemed to happen so fast. And so when I hear stories of growers like letting them outside curing for weeks, I wonder if that's the greatest idea for all zones, and maybe not, right? Maybe damper climates can leave them outside a lot longer and drier climates need to bring them in sooner. But either way, this is a fun experiment. So what I'm going to do, I think, is I got a lot of work to do outside here today. I am going to leave my stored dahlias outside in this beautiful air just to freshen up a little bit and help this one heal a hair. And then I think I'm just going to put the cured dahlias in with the uncured dahlias and put them back in storage and see how they do in the spring. So let me know what you think. I am all up for discussion and I love to learn. So okay, since I have you, and along those same lines of curing and taking out your tubers, we also have begonias. Begonias are kind of like a tuber, but I think it's actually called a corum. And this is the first and biggest begonia that I have had that really lasted. I've tried begonias in the past, and whatever I grew around them sort of overpowered and they just stayed really little small. But this beautiful dragon begonia, she was amazing. She was so showy and fun, and I had her hanging up in the front yard. So I'd love to try and save her. So I watched a few YouTube videos like I do, and we're gonna try to save her, and we're gonna store her up just like I did with the tubers. Okay, so I'm gonna cut back the foliage and I'm gonna leave just a couple of inches. Will be good for the compost. I think it's cool to see how neat and how much water is really stored in those stems. See if I can do this close up. Look at how thick and how much water is still in these stems. I just think that's pretty cool. I think it looks neat. Anyway, here we go. So we are going to loosen the soil and we're going to wiggle her out a little bit, and we are going to carefully knock off all the extra soil from around her corum. Yeah, that feels like something. Okay, still being super extra careful. But like right here, I can feel the density of the soil and the root ball changing. So I feel like that's got to be pretty close. Okay, I think this is about where I am going to stop. It's like really hard to see, but this hard part under the soil is the corum. And as I push, I'm at the point where as I push into it, I can feel the root ball underneath there. I can feel like how tight and compact that is. And I don't want to disturb the soil and destroy anything that's going on in there. And from what I've seen from other growers, this is about what you get to. So with the other dahlia tubers, I'm going to let her just sit out on the patio while I'm getting other stuff done today. And then I'm going to store her up in a bag with straw, just like I did for the dahlias, and put her in her basement. Next year, we'll put her back in the pot and see how she does. We got the dahlia tuber situation figured out. I'm glad I waited to see the difference between what the two would look like, and we'll see again in the spring what they look like after the long storage. So got our begonia corum done. Really excited for that one to see if that comes back, because she was gorgeous. I want to thank everybody for all your love and support and encouragement on my YouTube channel. It is just a blast for me to do. I hope to be able to keep doing it for a long time. You all are just so wonderful and kind. I want to give a special shout out to Virginia from Oshkosh. Hello, Virginia. Virginia is one of my biggest fans, and I just love it. She watches my videos with my moms, and I'm just so pleased. So thank you so much for all your support, Virginia. I really do appreciate you. Y'all have a great day. Love to you. We'll see you on the next one.